Here we have a new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado. This one's a 1500, comes in the LT trim level. Also includes the Z71 package, the All-Star Edition Plus package, Summit white paint, jet black cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 5.3 liter naturally aspirated V8, and that's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. As we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with the LED daytime running lights, and the lights don't dance like that. That's just my camera picking them up. But love the front faces of even the LT, just how you have the chrome and it kind of goes with the gloss black. It's just a nice, sophisticated looking front end. Down here to the wheels, these are going to be 20-inch aluminum. Passive keyless entry on the front. Power door lock controls are here. We have our power mirror controls, rear window lock, one touch up and down for the driver's side window, express down on the other 3 doors, and then bottle holders in the door panel. Electronic parking brake, drive modes, full 4-wheel drive with the Z71 package, and then we have our headlamp controls there. Hood release, manual tilt, as well as telescoping steering wheel. And then here's our power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. But a big thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. Takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Just gonna give a quick look at the options. I know it's kind of hard to see through the tint, but Z71 off-road package, All-Star Edition Plus, the engine, and a few other things, but for the most part, not a lot of options, but $61,490. So $53,600 is the sticker prices before any of these packages or options. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So we're gonna see how I fit sitting behind myself. Pretty good space back here. Seat back pockets are on both sides. Rear AC vents, and then you have a USB-C and a USB-A charge duo there. There's a look at the front from back here. LED reading lights throughout. And a nice sturdy hook here if you need to hang your uniform. Now child locks, lock, unlock there. Fuel filler. And then as we come around to the back end, there's a look at that. With the Z71, again, we do get the integrated dual exhaust there, the tow hitch, spare tire. And then this one does have the bed liner in it. 120 volt 3-prong household plug-in. And it's a little windy out today, so that's why I'm trying to go through the outside as quick as possible before I catch a wind gust. But you can fold these seats up or down. Lower anchors are right there. If you need the top tethers, time to that there. And then we have a manual front passenger seat, 4-way, side pockets. Then you have a top storage compartment, and then the traditional glove compartment that's lockable right there. Now as we come back around to the front end, just a quick look in the engine bay. There's that 5.3 liter V8. I like that it's really quiet when it sits at idle. And then just a quick look at the blinkers. But next, let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel here. There's the horn. Infotainment system, AM, FM, XM radio, Bluetooth audio, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility, Google Maps with a Google Assistant. And then we have dual zone automatic climate controls. You can either use the screen up above, or you have buttons and knobs down below, along with your 3-stage heated cooled seats. You also get a USB-C, USB-A charge port there, and then you have the trailer brake controller there. And in your settings, your vehicle settings include rear seat reminder, teen driver, buckle to drive. And if you want to change your language, go to your system settings down below, and you can do that there. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. If you want to turn those off or change the kind of guidelines that are shown, you can do that. And then down here, lane keeping system, auto stop toggle. You have the release for the tailgate, hazards, traction control, downhill brake control. Volume knob is here. You can click that to turn the audio source off, and then you can hit this to get to the home page if you need to. And then you can also scroll through what's shown on this right side here. But for the shifter, hit the brake button, pull down for drive, tap for low, pull up for neutral, hit the button, pull all the way up for reverse, press P for park. Have a little storage tray there while you're charging something here, bottle holders, and then in the center console cubby space, wireless charging pad, 3-prong household plug-in, and then a USB-C, USB-A duo if you do want to plug directly into the radio. Removable tray as well, nice LED light in there. And there is a look at the back seat from up here. We do get a power sliding rear window. And the control for that is right up here. We also have the garage door transmitter, OnStar, lights, and then our vanity mirrors here. But back to the steering wheel itself, wipers are on the left side, so we can control the intermittent wipers there one time. And then your auto high beams can be toggled with that button there. And you can flash for your regular high beams. And then paddle shifters, if you want to use the limiter, are behind the steering wheel itself. You can change those gears, and you can see what gear you're in that bottom left-hand corner. But behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can toggle our track list, radio station presets, and behind on the right side, volume up, volume down, cruise control, turn that on or off, cancel, set your speed, gap adjust for the collision alert, and then heated steering wheel toggle is here, mute, voice recognition, and then we're in transport mode now, but when the gauge cluster is how it's supposed to be, you can use this to scroll through your options, go through the sub menus. You can do things like change the units of measurement from US to metric, change what's shown on either side here, and then even change how much is shown in the bottom part of the gauge cluster itself. Push button start. Here's the key fob with remote start. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 LT with a Z71 package out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Silverado, love the LT trim level. It's just a nice middle of the road trim that's not overly expensive, that you can kind of add options to if you want. So I like having the 5.3. The Turbo Max would be fine for me in this, but again, the 5.3 is pretty solid, and you do get a V8. But just easy to drive this truck, get behind the wheel, get it going. With a Turbo Max, I do think you kind of have to learn how to drive it the most efficient way possible, how to get the most power out of it. Here, you just have a naturally aspirated V8, so you just put your foot down. But speaking of which, I'm going to put it in a sport mode. Not going to floor it, but I'm going to give it a little something getting on the interstate here. Here we go. So nice rumble from the V8. Like having the exhaust. Relatively quick truck. But I want to give a huge thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this Silverado today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But overall, I like how it drives, like the ride quality. It's a simple setup. And wind noise is not intrusive at all. Really not hearing the tires at all. I'm hearing the other cars more than I'm hearing myself. So I have it back in the normal drive mode now. You probably won't ever have to put it in the sport mode. Honestly, the normal gives you more than enough power, more than enough torque, but it's just kind of fun to redline in that sport mode every so often. But as you can see, you still, again, get that same rumble, that same feeling of power in the normal drive mode. It just tends to want to keep you more efficient, not want to necessarily rev as high. But for what you get here, I think GM's done a good job with this interior that we've had for a few years. Like the infotainment system, at least the overall look, how it's kind of got that horizontal iPad feel to it. Doesn't intrude on what's going on here, doesn't distract you from the road. And it's not like you have to look down. You can still like look over here and I can see what's going on in front of me. That makes sense. You shouldn't do that, but again, people are going to do that. So it's nice to have something that's still, again, not a distraction while you're driving looking straight, but you can still kind of glance at it and still keep your eyes on the road. And for this to be the LT, again, how it's spec'd out helps. Like having all the buttons here, the knobs, having the center console space here instead of the middle seat, and that's just my preference. Of course, having a middle seat kind of allows you to have your dog in the middle if you're going out or something like that. I like that for that purpose, but other than that, I'd always rather have a console here as opposed to a seat. Even though in the Silverados, if you get the middle seat, you have the storage compartment underneath, and then you still are able to fold the seat down and use it as a center console. But this is just a bit more usable for me, having the wireless charging pad, the USB ports, and all that. But a solid truck, a bit expensive, but everything's expensive these days. So all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 26 Silverado 1500 LT with the Z71 package.